I put up those 4 questions, and then I thought about it, and I was like, everyone's talking about all these different ones that really resonate with them. But basically, the feeling that I got was everyone was like, all of the above when I posted that. So I figured, why not try to, put them all together. Some of these I'm going to go into depth more about, but today I actually took some time with Ashley O'Neill, who's one of our captains, and we tried to talk out some of this stuff. Like, I wanted her take on it to see what she struggles with, or little things that she notices, because I've been doing this for so long, and I truly don't give a damn what people think. So, but I know that not everyone is like that. So it was valuable to get that information from her and get that perspective from her. So as we started going through these 4 points that I originally mentioned, I realized that you're going to see a common theme, and that is, and this is going to be heavily based on mindset. Like, it's, of course, there's physical things that you have to do to promote, and physical things you have to do. Whoa, hold on. My email just randomly opened up. That was weird. Okay. So there's physical things that you have to do to promote, of course, but at the end of the day, that doesn't happen if up here isn't where it's got to be. And if you're not, we'll get into it. I'm not good at explaining, but we'll get into it, and you'll see what I mean. At the end, you're going to be like, well, there was no real technical explanations for stuff, but I'm hoping that at some point during the Zoom, something clicks with you guys where you may be able to relate to, what we're talking about, and it may help. I'm also going to interview Devin and Ashley O'Neill. One of the topics on here was how to handle your mind / your own worst enemy. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, past failures, having them hold you down. And I know that Devin and Ashley have both talked to me about fear of failure is like a big hurdle of theirs. So I figured, what better than to hear it from them. So I'm going to show you guys how I kind of work through that with them when we do our coaching calls. So let's jump in. If at any point you guys have a question, you can feel free to go down. I forget, on my screen it just says chat, but I think it's, if you look at, is it participants or something like that at the bottom, and you click that, then there's a chat option, and you can actually type out if you have any questions, if you want to say anything, add anything, whatever. So feel free to chat, use the chat feature. Okay. So the first thing that's on this list is how to start the process of intentional recruiting, not just posting and praying for distributors to come your way. And then the second thing I had on here is what I do daily. So I'm thinking I'm just going to run down what I do daily, and I'm going to tie it in with some of these other topics in here. So as I was trying to list it out, anybody who knows me knows I'm not the most organized person in the world. I have crazy ADD. So it's always a task keeping me on focus no matter what. So do I have a schedule, a regimented schedule that I follow every day? Hell no. Hell no. I'm going to be late to my own wedding. I need to know a different time that it says on my invites because I'm going to be late. So no, I don't follow a schedule. Life is crazy. I don't have kids, and I don't have, a lot of the usual craziness that a lot of you guys have, and I can't even keep to a schedule. So don't think at any point that you have to follow what I do, because I am not regimented. I just have a certain list of things I make sure I get done every day. So I wake up around 8. The one thing I do in the morning every single day is I manifest. And if you haven't heard me talk about law of attraction and manifesting what you want to happen and all that stuff, I'm a huge, huge, huge believer in that. And what that is changing the verbiage of what you say, how you think, instead of saying I hope I sign somebody, or I hope they don't say no. Even making little changes to your everyday by saying, I can't wait to sign them up. I am signing them. I am adding distributors, things like that, changes your entire just confidence. And it may not feel like much, but after a while, after you get used to talking and speaking in terms of what you want to happen, not what you hope happens. And because hope, it's like, you know, I hope I'm lucky and this happens, but no, we have control over it, you know? So changing that up is one thing. And another way that I make sure that that lasts me throughout the whole day is in the morning, I sit and I write a list of 5 things that I want to happen. 5 things that I am certain are going to happen. It doesn't have to be business related. You know, one of my favorite affirmations, which is like a statement that, you know, saying what you want to happen, is money comes to me frequently and easily. And I'll just write that out. And I swear to God, it sounds so stupid and hippie, but something will happen where I'll receive an extra fast start bonus I didn't even realize. Or, you know, we'll get a gift card randomly from a relative or something crazy, something undeniable. If you want more help with manifesting and affirmations, just so I can get us off of here on time for Allison's thing, I can comment when I post this. I can comment on some YouTubes that I recommend for you guys to help you with getting into the pattern of manifesting and affirming. But that's what I do without fail. I answer messages. I do my morning post. I interact with intention for 30 minutes, and I add to my scout list. So now, you've heard me talk about focused interacting before, and how you go into your friends list and you know, instead of just newsfeed scrolling, you physically go into your friends list and choose people that you don't see on your newsfeed and you leave a comment on one of their posts. That's great. But just leaving a comment every now and again on something isn't going to make them want to get to know you. So the interacting is good because it starts getting your posts out there more. But you really want to, and this is my fault for not talking about this as much, you really want to practice building relationships. So I have people who comment on my posts and who like my stuff who I have no idea who the hell they are. A lot of you guys, I had no idea who a lot of you were, you know, and I met you on Facebook World. So that comes from building relationships, consistently commenting on people's posts so that I become friends with them. Letting them get to know me. When they comment on any of my posts, I always make sure I have something to reply back to them, whether it's thank you so much or whatever. Building that relationship and interacting with intention, that takes up, like, I make sure that I don't rush through that. So if I only interact with intention, let's say with 10 people, I'd rather spend 30 minutes doing that and like actually being thorough with 10 people than randomly interacting with 50 people I'm never going to remember enough to comment on their stuff ever again, if that makes sense. Also, adding to my scout list. So I mentioned this a few times in my sound is off. Do you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. Nicole, am I all better now? Okay, so adding to my scout list. You guys hear me mention scout list often. And what that is as I'm scrolling through and I see someone's Facebook. Now, I don't get super choosy about this. But, like, you know, if they have, like, really awful, offensive stuff on their page, they don't go on my scout list. If they have like 100 friends and they went to like the University of like Indonesia and their profession is like #1 at Hello Kitty, like they don't get added to the scout list. I'll delete them. But like if they have a few hundred friends, if they're on Facebook, you know, more than once a year, I'm very relaxed with that. Like they go on my scout list. Basically somebody who seems normal, who I wouldn't mind getting to know, they go on my scout list. What I do with this scout list is once a week, twice a week, whatever, I will go through that list and just go to these people's Facebooks and make sure that I comment and like something. And that's how I build the relationship with people through my interaction. That's how I keep tabs of who I'm interacting with so I can build that relationship. That's why a scout list is super important. And these aren't people that you have had to speak to about the business or anything like that. These are just like regular people you're interacting with. I'll add 10 friends. I will check out my scout lists Facebooks and interact with them. I will message 10 people naturally about the business. We're going to get into that when I start talking about recruiting. I do my afternoon post, follow up with people. I know you might hear follow up Friday. It's a pretty popular term. I'll say it too sometimes. It's good for when you're new because it kind of just makes it easier to keep it in your mind, in your brain, that like Friday, reach out to people. But I follow up daily because I have so many conversations that it's like if it's been a week or two or whatever, like I'll just follow up with them each day for a little bit. I messaged 10 people to build relationships. So if I talked to someone last week and I knew that they were sick, I will message them, ask them how they're feeling. If I saw somebody's daughter went to prom, I'll message them and say, hey, I just want to let you know, like, your daughter looked gorgeous at prom. Something like that, like silly stuff, building relationships. I talk to my leaders and my newbies. At least like once a day, I'll check in with them. And then during the day, like as I'm going through this list, I'm also getting messages from everybody and like trying to respond to them and stuff. So this may not sound like a lot, but it is when it's spread out because in between I'll be helping people as well. Yeah, so that's what I listed in terms of actions. I want to talk a little bit about how I approach each day because I think that's the most important thing. If you notice, you can follow all of the directions. You could post exactly according to the post challenge. You could, do your focused interacting, and then you could be noticing that it's just not getting to where do you remove Mrs. Hello Kitty? I just saw that. Yes, Mrs. Hello Kitty gets removed because I don't think that's a real Facebook. But Allison, but no matter what actions I do daily, the mindset that I have within my business of taking my business seriously and prioritizing it and really doing things like I look for every opportunity to improve business. I look for every opportunity to talk to somebody about becoming a distributor, which I'll get more in detail about when we get to recruiting. But I don't post and then get bogged down by how many likes I get, how many comments I get. I just roll through it. And I'm always keeping it at the forefront of my mind. So at any given point, like if I'm in a situation with people and I'm just meeting them, I ask them what they do. Things like that, like taking your business and being a real business owner. Like if you opened up a pizzeria, you would eat, breathe, sleep, and shit that pizzeria because you're like, I have to make money. I have to get this set up. I have to build clients. I have to get established. Now, this is meant to go along with your regular job and everyday life in the beginning. So I'm not saying to like obsess over this, but I do notice that the difference in what I do daily is no matter what's happening in my personal life, my Facebook is my business, my clients are my business, my team are my business, and I make sure that I try to devote energy and attention to that because that's what's going to, in the long run, provide an income that is like completely unrealistic at any office job or anything, like I never would have made the money that I'm making now, let alone what I'm going to be making when I become ambassador one day. So that's how I view my business every single day. It's like, just like you're disciplined with getting to work at a certain time or what your boss says or whatever. I treat this, and I always have, even when I had a full-time job, I always treat this like I have to get this done because not that anyone's going to yell at me, but what use is working really, really, really hard for a week if the following week you fall off and that all went to the wayside? It's like you're wasting your own time, So that consistency, waking up every day and trying to learn as much as possible, that's another huge thing. Just always keeping in mind that I'm trying to build my business and not waiting for anyone to tell me what to do, just trying to go out there and find it. That's what I spend my days doing. Okay. I will answer your questions just because I have awful ADD and I've already gotten off track. I will answer your questions in a few minutes once I get through this topic. 30 minutes every day, I do personal reflection. So I look back and I say to myself, okay, so How did I do this? Could I have improved this? What's one of my goals for this month? Okay, let me think of some ideas on how to get better at that. I kind of just sit with my own thoughts because it's easy to get into the hysteria. I call it the I want this hysteria, where it's just like it builds and builds and builds, and you're like, I'm so excited, I'm so excited. But then you're like, well, what do you do to actually make it happen? A lot of people are like, I don't know, I'm just really excited, I just really want it, I just really want it. So I take that time to reflect and sit and say, what can I do better? What can I improve on? And what is something I'm going to try tomorrow? You know, I just basically plan within my own thoughts based on the day. So that I do that every single day, and it kind of gets me more centered. Yeah, so I guess that's it for what I actually like do every day. I'm trying to see here. My notes are as much of a mess as I am. Okay, so I'm going to read some of these questions, and then I'm going to move on. I'm going to start talking about actively recruiting because that's the big one. Is the building relationships with people considered training or for GTs? I'm not sure what you mean, Nicole. I'm watching, but I have to go on my phone so I can hear. I'm not sure what I can. So if you can't hear us, Nikki, just get back out and then get back in. Try to restart it. Sometimes that helps. Okay, so start the process of intentionally recruiting. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Do you guys think signing DTs is hard? Give me a nod or shake your head if you think it's difficult. So why does the most difficult thing, or what we think is the most difficult thing in the business, get the least amount of everyday effort? That's the difference. So I would almost rather you guys put up one product post a day that has like a one sentence little caption with it, and then one really awesome lifestyle post a day, and then just post your regular filler posts, but spend that time getting to know people and following up with your potentials. That's the biggest thing. We all kind of lose track of one or two, but sometimes I feel like when somebody is interested and they're asking for information and we're talking to them, we're sitting there like waiting with bated breath. We're like, oh my God, like we love them. We're so excited to work with them. We're all in, we're so passionate. And then the second that they're like, well, I have to wait until Friday, or I have to think about this or something else, it's like deflate. And then combo falls off and you're not that interested in them anymore. Like they're not, they're just like friend zoned. And it's like, you shouldn't do that. I stay just as interested in that potential after they say no to me as I did before they said anything. But like when I first got that message, hey, tell me a little bit about what you do. And I know everyone feels it too. Your heart like sinks into your ass and you're just like, oh my God, what do I say? I'm so excited. Someone's interested. Like that excitement shouldn't go away because they are going to sign with you. Think about how many times you may have said no, or it didn't feel like the right time to you. But if the person that originally came to you to talk to you just fell off when you said no, not right now, probably just wouldn't have even thought about it again. Or you would have been like, damn, she only liked me because she wanted me to work with her. Like, why, what does she have to gain from it? So keep that, still be just as interested in getting to know these people, even if it's not their time right now. And make it a point to keep organized so that you know that you talk to them. That's, it has to be intentional when you're recruiting. Some things I wrote how I sign distributors. This is my messy ass notebook, by the way. These are my very fancy formal notes. Number one, anyone is a distributor. Anyone. I try to bring it up in convo. When I meet people, I ask them what they do for a living. They almost always ask you what you do for a living. And if you're like, well, what do I say? This is what I say to them. I'm a recruiter for a global health and wellness company. I teach people how to work social media and make commission or bonuses, or, I primarily help people who need to add on to their day job. Their paycheck isn't cutting it, so I teach them how to work social media and make extra money. It's not like a scripted answer, except for that very first sentence. The rest is just based on the convo I'm having. So when you talk to people, remember this, potentials. Unless you give them messed up info, like unless you're like, it's $300 to sign up and you need to hit $500 every, like unless you're telling them complete garbage, that isn't the case. Like as long as you sound like you and you're just answering the question they asked, you really can't scare them away. Like if saying one word different than I would is enough to make them stop talking to you, do you think they're going to work if you sign them up? Like, no, they're not going to do anything. They're going to be like pittering, pattering around everything. Like you just be you, be natural, talk to people without fear, just answer the question that they're asking and don't try to sound how you think you should. Just say what you want to say and watch how much that resonates with people. People really love that because you're real. You're not scripted. So anyone can be a distributor. I don't care. Every Uber driver, my pharmacy tech, everybody I meet gets a business card. Hi, I'm a recruiter for this company. I think you'd be great at this. There's my cell number on there. Add me on Facebook. We can chat later. Done. Everybody I meet gets that. Everybody. My scout list and messaging. Okay, so my scout list, I keep updating that, keep interacting with people. That's how I build strong relationships with people I don't even freaking know on Facebook. And messaging. This gets results almost every time. Hey, I have a really creepy question. I have a question for you. I hope I don't creep you out. I have a random question for you. Like, or hey girl, so I hope I'm not creeping you out. I have a really random question. Who wouldn't be like, what? Like, you know, like if someone sent them that. So once they say reply what or what's up or whatever, I go to voice note. Please trust me on the voice notes. They are game changers. What would take 3 paragraphs to write out can be said in a 20-second voice note. And it's great. They hear that you're a real person. They hear that you're not Miss Hello Kitty from Indonesia. Like they know that they can have a real conversation with you and it lets their guard down so much. So I will get on, yeah, Alice, it's seriously a game changer. So I will get on the voice note with them and say, I don't like to do this. I don't like to reach out. I'm so not that spammy kind of annoying person. But I see you, like I see your Facebook, I watch your posts, and I think you'd be really amazing at this. Would you ever want me to teach you how I make extra money doing what I do? Send that. And then I'll add to the end. I'll be like, if not, I hope I don't piss you off by asking. Like, no big deal. I just felt like I had to ask you. Okay, so even if it's a no, people will still like, they won't be mean to you because you were so nice about it, because you were humble about it. You sound like you. But I really don't get a lot of no's. People actually want to talk and like learn more, which is great. And you can save, like once you get it down pat and it sounds awesome, you can save the voice note to your phone. And then whenever the convo comes up, like hey, I have a really random question for you. I will copy and paste that to the people I'm messaging. Now, granted, these are actually people that I've looked at their Facebook and I actually think what I'm saying. I'm not just bullshitting them. And then they'll answer and I'll just send them the voice note, the same voice note. It's so easy. So easy. But I do that every day. Sometimes only one person, sometimes 5 people. It depends. But I try to do it every single day. I make my story known daily. So you guys know my whole friggin' medical history by now, right? And it's like, it sounds redundant. Someone asked this question. I think it was Nicole. So how do you keep posts not sounding redundant? Don't worry about sounding redundant. People don't see every single post you put up. So, and then on top of that, you're adding new friends daily. They need to get to know you. So don't worry about being redundant. But I make my story known in some way, shape, or form basically every day. I message and comment as a friend as much as possible. What do I mean as a friend? I will not, like, even if it's somebody who doesn't know Nick or know I have a fiance, I don't say my fiance often. I'll just say Nick. Like I will, if I'm commenting something like, oh my God, Nick loves when I make that. Or, you know, something like, oh, Mia goes crazy when someone comes to the door. I don't know, something stupid like that. But even if it's somebody I've never met, never talked to, I will talk to them that comfortable. And it's like, they're like, oh, I know this chick. Okay, cool. So it's like, again, it's a way to kind of get your foot in the door. I consistently integrate this into my life in my posts. So I don't look for awesome things to post about. I look at what I'm doing at that moment and I try to figure out how I can make it into a post. So it's kind of hard if you sit there and you're trying to brainstorm, like, how do I write something great? But today I was feeding my dog. So I took a picture of the dog food, like, you know, and I tried to integrate it in there. I had to call up the insurance companies the other day. I integrated that. I had to go to a doctor's office. I integrated that. I don't know. I just try to fit it something. I try to fit whatever's going on with a lifestyle post. My life is not that fun or glamorous. I just make it look that way because I take a cute picture and I try to word it around what I'm doing. Done. Get to know people and be different. Attraction marketing. If you ever see me talk about, if you hate spammy distributors, talk about hating spammy distributors. Because all the other people who hate spammy distributors are going to be like, you're cool. I don't mind being friends with you because you're not going to harass and stalk me. So attraction marketing, attract the people that you want. You want people who hate spammy people. So, you know, relate over that. I'm always learning. I've never thought that I'm the best at what I do or anything, because I will continue to be learning until even when I'm a black diamond one day, I'm on the stage, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm here, I arrived. I'll still think that I have to learn, stuff to learn. And that's just the mentality you always want to have. Take something away from every experience in life. I manifest daily and as much as possible. And confidence. Confidence. You haven't signed a DT yet? That's cool. I hadn't signed a DT yet either. I posted about how I have this awesome team of people that I work with, and I'm going to be helping so many people achieve their goals. Like, I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. I was like a week in. I don't know what the hell I was doing. You know, but who cares? It's ignorance on fire. Just go. Be confident. You know, you don't need to have a huge successful team to post like you're a successful distributor. You got it. Just, you know, kind of like fake it till you make it. So my confidence in my posts have been that way since day one. Don't feel weird. Just post it. No one's going to, you know, kill you. So what else do I have in here? I teach you is the most powerful statement you can use when talking to a potential. I will teach you. Have you ever thought about letting me teach you how to do this? I'd love to teach you how to make extra money with me, because it completely gets rid of the fear that they're going to be on their own and that they've never done this and that they're not salespeople. It's fine. I'll teach you how. I'm not a salesperson. I wasn't either. I'll teach you how I do it. I don't know who would buy from me. I didn't either. I'll teach you how I do it. I am afraid of my friends making fun of me. We talked about that today. I had friends that made fun of me. My family makes fun of me to this day. I'll teach you how to get over that, and you can go ahead and be successful. Like, I can teach you is the best statement. You can't argue it. Answer one question at a time. So somebody says, what do we do? I can guarantee you, I could see, if I were to ask you guys individually right now, some of you would like short circuit. It would be like water on the motherboard, like I don't know what to do. And that's normal. Simplify it. I teach people how to sell stuff with social media. I teach people how to sell weight loss packages. I teach people how to wrap up their thighs for summertime. I teach people, like, you can literally take that a million different ways. You're not going to scare people away if you don't have an epic one-liner to describe what you do. Just keep it simple. The shorter, the better. People like vague. I've noticed that. What was it yesterday? Oh, so someone says, what can I use for weight loss? I'll ask all the questions about their day. Like, you know, how much do you want to lose? What's your diet like? How do you bloat? How's your energy? The questions that I put in the script, right? And then they'll tell me. And instead of sitting there and giving them the product coach layout of each product, I will just be like, it's a belly fat melting vitamin and I friggin' love it. done. People be like, oh, that sounds good. Like, people don't need the scientific explanation of stuff, truth be told. Sometimes it like puts them off a little because we only have like a short attention span, the average person. I think was it like 20 seconds or something like that, if that. And if you overload someone with information, they're just going to be like, whoa, and not care. If you're like, belly melting vitamin, woohoo, they're going to be like, yeah, I hate my belly. I need vitamins. Give me. So, you know, so it doesn't have to be that like specific. This was a huge one. Oh, wait, I'm going to wait until we get to fear of failure. Ash, what we talked about with the goals, that's going to be like a big deal. I can tell. Okay. So, oh, and this is the other thing. I start my month strong instead of getting halfway through the month and being like, oh shit, it's halfway through the month and I haven't signed anybody yet. Or, oh my God, there's a week left. I haven't signed anybody yet. All that does is start negativity in your mind and make you anxious and make you feel like you're a loser and all these awful things that we tell ourselves when it just doesn't need to be the case. I stay consistent. I start strong. I pretend it's like the end of the month, in the beginning of the month. I try to set myself up as much as possible. I try to talk to as many people as possible. So come the end of the month, all of that's, you know, I'm reaping all that harvest, all those seeds that I've planted, all those people I've talked to, relationships I've built, work I've put in comes to life at the end of the month versus now I got to kick it into gear. Maybe I'll do better next month. That's just not the right kind of habit to have with this business because you're just going to feel bad about yourself. Last thing I'd say for mindset and when it comes to signing distributors, look at your whole month. Don't say, I haven't signed anyone in this many days. That is the biggest trap, whether it's loyal customers, distributors, whatever. It's the biggest trap. It takes time to do this, to talk to people. It may not be immediate. So look at your month of activity. And if you're satisfied with the amount of effort you've put in for that month, your results at the end should show it. And if not, learn from it and apply it to the next month. But don't sit there and beat yourself up if it's been 5 days since you've signed someone. You have a whole month to do it. You know, just keep plugging along. We waste so much time with bad thoughts that we give ourselves. We waste so much of our energy on self-imposed negativity that just doesn't need to be there. Oh, wait, no, I have another. Okay, so apparently I made a lot more notes than I thought. Stop always trying to convince people. That's another thing. I talk about my life, my thoughts on things, what this company has done for me, and what I love to help other people with. And then you never see me like really trying to, give the rah-rah, like trying to convince people. Your posts won't feel natural if you're just trying to make them sound like a great rap post. Like, make it so that you are really opening up to people about what this means to you and how much you love it. That is a lot more impactful than putting up the perfect ad for a distributor and trying to convince people how wonderful this is. I research things. It's up to you to work this business. That's one of the things I wrote on here. It's up to you to do it. So that being said, if you have a hard time with conversations, go research some YouTube videos on being great at conversations. If you're worried about your pictures not being the best, go on YouTube, try to find some videos on photo editing until you find something that you like, and then stick with that. Research things. Research other people who have been successful in this. Research sales tactics. If you're like, well, I think my convos are throwing people off, research sales tactics. Go out there and hone your business, your craft. You always want to be learning. So it's not up to somebody, one person, two people, whatever, to provide you with that learning. Go get it. Go find something that really clicks with you, because it may be different for me than it is for you guys, And then this truly is the last thing. The one thing I notice is that if you want to treat this business like a hobby, you're going to get hobby money. If you treat this business like a business, like I was saying with the pizzeria, you know, it's not uncommon to work 16-hour days, 7 days straight when you open up a business. But yet we come to this, and when we have stuff happening in our lives and we're busy and we're stressed, it's almost like we resent this and we're like, I have a lot going on. I can't focus on that. But in the same token, we get upset when we're not making a lot of money or we're not really successful, you know? So whatever you put in effort-wise is what you will see back money-wise. And if, I'm going to save this for the diamond part at the end, but keep that in mind, because I'm going to make a point at the end of this that I hope you guys look at and don't roll your eyes at, but like really it clicks with you when I say it. Okay. So, for the sake of time, I'm going to do another video on my actual convos with examples of common objections and stuff with distributors. But how I recruit distributors every day is how I work at it. I try to every day. I talk to people all the time. I make sure people know my damn story. So I hope that that helped. Now, this part, Miss Devin and Miss Ashley. So, fear of failure. Can each of you guys go one at a time and say what it means to you or how you notice it impacts you in your day-to-day?
I'll go first.
Not all at once, guys.
No, I was just like, I had to scroll over.
I do that all the time.
Unmute it or not. I didn't want to be like, So, for me, guys, do you want me to do like the feelings or like how it affects like what I do every day?
Talk about your feelings.
Okay, so I feel like if I don't achieve certain things in my life that I am bad and I am stupid and I don't deserve anything that's going to come to me. It's so messed up to think that way. Like, I'm smiling because Michelle and I had a whole conversation today and she's like, you're a jerk. I would say something else, anybody who knows me, but I don't know if kids are listening. So she was like, you're a jerk. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm a jerk. But it's a lot of feelings of like scared of not being enough and being stupid and wrong and bad for not achieving goals, like certain goals that I have.
And you feel like that stops you from doing the things that you know that would help you become successful, because it's almost better to not do it and fail, or not do it and then not fail because you didn't do it at all, than it is to try and fail.
Right. And the first time I actually noticed it was a problem. I'll keep it quick. But Josh is my boyfriend. Anybody who's Facebook friends with me knows. When we first started dating, he asked me to sit down and write down my dreams. And this was 2 years ago. I cried for 4 hours because I said, if I write these down and they don't come true, I'm bad and I'm stupid and I'm a failure at life. So that's how deep this goes.
So, and this goes back to the goals thing, so that we were talking about that today. You know, it's, if we say, I realized, I was like, so let's set a goal. Let's talk about that. And like, let's just make it, you know, getting your steps to success completed this month. And it was still like a sense of like, okay. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. Don't set goals on achieving something. Set your goal to be a daily action. So you know that reaching out to people, even though we do it in like a very natural way, you know that reaching out to people is the one thing that really scares you, because you're like, what if they don't answer? What if they say no? What if they're mean about it? Whatever. So that's the thing that you really want to tackle. So maybe set your goal to be message one person every day. That's it. That's a goal. That's a tangible goal. So instead of having results-based goals set, guys, you can have action-based goals that, you know, this is literally what you do, and that's how you achieve your goals. Because now with 30 days ahead of in June, let's say Ashley messages one person every single day, that doesn't feel like a big impact on your day. But at the end of that month, she has now talked to 30 new people about this business or something when she was afraid to talk to one person before. So now how much closer to completing the steps to success do you think she's going to be at the end of those 30 days versus now sitting here and saying like, oh, I want to complete the steps to success. That's it. it's kind of hard, like that like inability to know how to get started is usually the hardest part of getting started. So if you break it down and say, what's the one thing I'm afraid of doing every day that I know is holding me back from being successful, and set it a goal to do that every day for X amount of days. Doesn't even have to be 30, it can be a week. Set it, take baby steps with yourself. Pushing yourself out of your comfort zone doesn't have to be a revamp of your life. It can be breaking through one barrier at a time. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Ash. I guess we'll open up for questions after, but I want to hear from Devin.
Yeah. Miss Deb!
Hi, guys. So I'm going to kind of piggyback a little bit off of what Ashley said about, just the feeling of not being good enough or, feeling dumb. And many of you guys don't know this, but Michelle knows this. My father made 3 multi-million-dollar companies off of a high school education. So I look up to him. Now, my highest level of education is high school. I didn't go to college. I didn't continue on anything after that. But for me, I have that fear of failure because I don't want to disappoint him when I've started my own business. Now, I know a lot of people can't relate to that. It's just a weird situation. But I'm also my own worst enemy. I also set myself up for failure a lot. Like when things go wrong in my life, I shut down. And Michelle will tell you, I am literally my own worst enemy. Like my fiance was in the hospital. What did I do? I stopped working the business. My dad's going through a divorce. What did I do? I stopped working my business. So I was hurting myself, making myself fail, but this whole time, almost guilt tripping myself and being like, oh, you can't do this right now. You can't. You're dumb for doing this. Don't do it. But in the back of my head, it was, well, do you really want to be that person who has these high standards of success within your family and you just want to let everything go? So, I mean, I'm kind of a catch-22 because even though I have that huge fear, I always shut myself down too.
So I'm excited for this because Ashley and I, we worked through a bunch of stuff today when we were talking, but we didn't get a chance to talk. And I said this to Ashley, and it surprised, she started crying. I'm kind of kidding, Ash. Not so much, but love you. And I said to her, I said, look at everything that you've achieved holding yourself back. Imagine what you're capable of achieving if you're not holding yourself back. If everything you've done so far has been at half potential, can you even imagine your full potential if you just let go of your fear and say, screw it? Like when you want to do something that's going to benefit you in the business and something's holding you back because you're afraid that it's not going to work and you're going to look stupid for trying, say to yourself, what do I have to lose? A lot of times, I will run through asking people, I will run through stuff, and I don't really give a damn what they say back to me because I'm like, at the end of the day, no matter what you say, it does not affect my life, my relationships, my income, my aspirations, my goals, my spirit. Nothing is affected by the words of another person or how they receive it. So I keep it going. So next time you feel like there's a block in your way, literally say to yourself, what do I have to lose? And look at the situation. And if you say, what do I have to lose if I don't do this? And that would be, I guess, not progressing, not hitting a goal, not getting further in this business. What do I have to lose if I give it a shot and it doesn't work out? Nothing. You tried. It's so, I think my sister's here. So that was a big thing for us. What do you notice you hold back from doing the most because of fear of failure?
I hold back from reaching out to potentials because I have a terrible habit of prejudging and being like, oh, I don't think they'll be great at this, and then turn around and they could be like the next freaking triple diamond, black diamond and above. So I am fearful personally of reaching out and initiating that conversation because I'm a prejudger.
Okay. So now prejudging people, do you feel like it's because you're afraid of signing somebody who isn't going to be good at this? Like you're afraid of signing someone who you can't help be successful?
I think it's more or less because I'm afraid of getting the no. Like, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to do this.
So you make excuses. So instead of reaching out to them, and saying, I'm afraid to reach out to them because I'm afraid they'll say no, you almost say to yourself, they wouldn't be good at it anyway. So what's the point of reaching out anyway?
Yeah.
So it's like a defense mechanism. That's I see that. Like, that's common. Everybody can, like, if I could blitz the janitor at a building, and just go up to them and be like, take this card, call me, there's a different way, I would. I mean, granted, I don't really see too many janitors in buildings, but I'm just saying, like, anybody you meet, look at Jade Hooper. You know, whether you follow her advice or not or whatever, she's not your typical blonde, like, skinny little, like, you know, let's face it, like, there's a lot of It Works poster women, and it's like, you literally look flawless. Like, you literally look airbrushed and perfect all the time. You know, how hard could it have been? You were a friggin' bikini model before. Let's get real. You know, Jade Hooper's very much just like your average everyday girl. Like, she's just some chick you could meet who could be your neighbor. You know, she was like feeding her kid, like breastfeeding her kid alive on TV like the other day or whatever. So anybody, whatever your background is, can do this and be amazing at it. And having that belief opens up a lot of doors. Now, what you do with that and messaging people, do you understand how many people would probably be, that you prejudge, would probably be like flattered and happy that you think they'd be great at this? I have met people before who say it, and the most powerful thing I've ever heard is, thank you for believing in me. It's literally like, it brings tears to my eyes, like when people say that, like, thank you for believing in me, because I think we should all believe in each other. All of us can make whatever we want to happen. So giving this opportunity to everybody I come across and believing in everybody I come across, whether they choose to be successful or not, it's like, you'll feel that weight come off once you get into the swing of forcing yourself, of saying to yourself, what do I have to lose when it comes to messaging people? And you get people start saying, thank you for believing in me. You're going to see how, like, life is completely different. I don't know if anybody knew me during my Carlos Bakery days, but I was an angry, grouchy, grumpy bitch. I was awful because I was unhappy and unfulfilled and all of the things that a lot of these people who come to us for this business feel. And doing this has completely changed my life. More than money, it's the power too. You have the ability to give that to somebody, you know, and sometimes we're afraid that we aren't. I know I'm saying that, and I'm sure you're like, maybe you do. No, but all of you do. All of you have the capability of doing that. Fear of failure is keeping you from making amazing stories happen. So I'm trying to think. Ash, what did we go over before that we said we're going to have the action-based goals? I challenge all of you guys to think of one thing that you know holds you back in this business that you won't do. One thing. Could be little. Could be putting up a post every day if you haven't been consistently posting. And challenge yourself to do that for 2 weeks. 14 days doing something that scares you that you don't usually do. Force it. And see how different your life will be at the end of those 14 days. How much more willing to go even further and risk even more you're going to be in 14 days. You're not going to be like a black diamond in 2 weeks, but you will be more open to doing things and be further out of your comfort zone and feel great in 2 weeks after you've forced yourself to do what you've been afraid of this entire time. So, let's see. Do you guys have any questions for Ashley or Deb, or do you guys have anything else you want to add to fear of failure?
Y'all, we don't bite. You can ask us here, or you can message us. I'm always on Messenger.
Anybody relate to this at all and feel like it spoke a little bit to them?
The one thing I do want to say is, if you do have a fear, say something. Like, Michelle has been the one person I can run to and be like, Michelle, this is happening. Don't know what, even if my world is crashing down and I don't know how to handle it and how to balance the business and my personal life and everything that's going on, I will go to her and tell her, Michelle, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do right now. What do I do? And she'll tell me, just stop, take a second, and just think about everything. Don't shut down. Do what you need to do. Stay on task. Mm-hmm. So if there's something that's just going on, say something to your higher up. Say something to somebody on a team. Just open your mouth. Don't be afraid to not say anything.
Asking is definitely the first step. Allison, I just want to talk a little bit about the diamond part, I'm not going to completely get into it. It's probably going to be another like 5 to 10 minutes. So if we get close to 9 and you want to hop off of here, feel free, and I can catch you up privately after your PDT event, or you can fast forward in the recording and see it if you want. But I'm only going to try and be 10 minutes late this time. 10 minutes over. I talk too much. Okay. So thank you guys both so much for opening up. If anybody notices that they have any habits that are holding them back and want to talk about it, like definitely reach out, like Devin was saying, because everything is workable. It just, you have more than enough support in this team. And no matter what you're going through or what your struggles are, we're all here to help, and we can all relate in some way. Okay, so last thing is how to promote for that 10K and make it rain, but you got to make it rain. That's what I wrote. I don't know what kind of cheesy crap I write. I look at it after the fact, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? But so, flip my notes. Before I get into this, the diamond bonus, I want to say this. If it was easy, they wouldn't be in business, because, you know, if you, like a $10,000 bonus, you got to work for that, you know, like that's not just something they're handing out for best, you know, thanks for trying. Like that's for, you have to do this and hustle hard and get there, and then you get 10 grand. So I want you to think about that. And there's something called the law of sacrifice. I've heard, I don't know if you guys know Mike. Mike is my leadership mentor. Mike Chu, he's my enroller's husband, and he always gives me these Yoda-esque statements that like change my thinking completely. And one is the law of sacrifice. And that's, I'll say to him, I have people who I know could really, really do this and really, really work it out. But how the hell do I tell them, put this before your family, put this before this? But like, I feel like that's not my place. And then we talked a little bit about sacrifice, and I thought about it for a second. Now, you want to spend time with your kids. You don't want to take time away from your kids. You're a mom. That's your top priority. I get that in theory. I don't fully get it because I'm not a mom yet, but I get, and I would never tell somebody don't care about your kids. However, who's going to benefit from that 10 grand when you hit that diamond rank and you get that bonus? You know, it's not going to go into your bank account so you can go get a designer bag. Like, I mean, maybe it will, and whatever, but no judgment. But I'm saying, like, will that help you with your bills so you can provide for your kids? Will that help them, you know, with their schooling? Like if they go to private school, or, you know, they do extracurricular activities, or you're putting it away in a college fund. So the sacrifice that sometimes you have to make to push for a goal is not selfish. You know, it's sometimes something you have to do. So for 3 months, if they're saying, get this diamond bonus, and you have 3 months to do it, it's not going to be an easy 3 months. It's got to be I don't give a shit. I'm going to eat, breathe, and sleep this for 3 months because I have to hit this goal. I'm going after this bonus. I know it's difficult, and I'm going to have to ask the husband to do the laundry, to cook. You know, Nick was cooking. I'm working my ass off to get to triple by August. Nick came home from working all day, and he helped me cook. Now, not all spouses are supportive like that, and that's really unfortunate. I get it, but you kind of have to make the decision for yourself that you believe in this, you are strong, and whether or not somebody else has that vision or somebody else doesn't see why you need to devote your free time to this over the next 90 days instead of hanging out with them and watching TV, you know that it's for your family in the end. It's for the betterment of your relationship. It's not for nothing. If you're not trying to do that and you don't care about the 10 grand, there's nothing wrong with that. But when I see people who are like, I'm all in, I'm going for 10 grand, but then I get told, like, they're like, oh, sorry, I haven't posted in 5 days. I have a lot going on. We all got a lot going on. But if you want that bonus, you've got to work around it. You got to work through it. You can't stop. You get what I'm saying? You can ultimately decide how much effort you put into this. You can ultimately decide what you want out of this. No one is pushing you or rushing you. But if you're going to say, I want this bonus, understand that I'm right there busting my ass with you. And it comes first for the short time it needs to in the end get me where I got to be, and ultimately create a better life, if that makes sense. So you just kind of have to decide, how can I make this top priority for the next 90 days so I can get this bonus? It's easier said than done, but you have people like me, like the captains, like other people on the team who are here rooting for you to try and help you find solutions to working this business around your schedule. Take advantage of that. Try to learn and do everything you can if that's what you're going for, if you're running after that bonus. And don't let the situations that are still going to be there, whether you hit that bonus or not, stop you from the chance of getting it. Because you're still going to have those same family members that are pains in your ass. You're still going to have, hardships. You're still going to be sad about the same stuff you're sad about now. Your health is still going to be what it is. Nothing is going to change except the fact that you let it stop you from getting something that could have helped. So you just kind of got to have that real talk with yourself and say, is this something I'm devoting for the next 3 months? If yes, if you're willing to do that, I'm here to help you. If no, I'm still here to help you. I just know that that's the sacrifice it takes to get a crazy bonus like that. It's not easy. Not everyone gets it. So make the decision to be strong and not rely on others agreeing and believing. Decide for yourself and just run with it and put blinders on and just go. Okay. That being said, I want to start a challenge group. It's going to be a separate group page. Now, I want you guys to be honest and not say you want in because you think you should or think that I'll judge you if you don't or anything else. But if you want this diamond bonus, and after I said that about sacrifice, you're just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's rock. Like, you should be on this group page. What I'm going to have in there is I'm going to have daily tasks. They're just going to be little. It's not going to be crazy. It's going to be like, find someone from high school to go, to their friends list and add 3 of their friends that you have mutual connections with. Little tasks like that kind of like help keep egging you on towards your goal. I'm going to share different YouTube videos in there that could help, trainings like that. 2 times a week, I'm going to go live about a training topic. I'm going to discuss more advanced topics like charting, how to get to that promotion rank, how to sign up those people and get there. Screenshots of examples of conversations. There's going to be power hour templates. So if you have an hour on the weekends each day or an hour at night or something, there'll be what's called a power hour template. It's kind of like a post challenge, but in stuff you can do to help get you towards diamond bonus. It's going to be a really cool group. Leadership building, more advanced lessons, charting, daily tasks, whatever. So there is an application to get in to do this program, to do this challenge group. I want you guys to know there are going to be notifications. You do have to check it every day. For the people that want to be in this, I want you to understand and be cool with that and be ready for that. I don't want to push anybody who's not at that point, who gets in there and is like, overwhelmed. I want you to know ahead of time that this is a very different group. And to apply to get in, you just message me and tell me 3 things that you really want to improve on. And if you're ready, if you're in, kind of make a little statement about what diamond means to you, why you want in the group, and we'll just talk and go from there. I'm not going to be kicking people out of the team and be like, no, you suck, but we'll have a conversation about it and see if it's a good fit, if this is something you should take on or not. So if you're interested in that, just shoot me a private message and let me know, and we can go from there. And what's the other? Okay, so I'm starting this is going to be just an ongoing thing. How many people have signed a distributor and then you're like, how the hell do I train them? I'm just learning how to do this on my own. How the hell am I going to train them? So I'm going to have a separate group page that's just information. It's not there's not going to be a whole lot of talking, posting back and forth. And this page is going to have the actual steps of what to do with your new distributor, what to talk about, different leadership tips, stuff like that. It's going to be a place for that info to live. So you can keep an eye out for that. That'll help you guys train your distributors a little bit better, have some direction for that. There'll be charts and stuff like that on that page. And it's going to be a team builders page, and anybody who has at least one distributor under them gets added to it. So this way you have that info. And what else? Do I have anything else? Oh, green carpet. So I can't get to green carpet this year. Unfortunately, I have tried to go to every single corporate event that I can possibly get to since the first year that I missed conference. I cannot stress how amazing green carpet was. It's basically a huge party for a week. Like, they take over the town. They have different drink specials and food specials. They have like a food truck rally, concerts, stuff like that. They take over Bradenton, which is a really pretty area too. And then they have 2 days of the conference. They also have group worship if anybody's into that. I think it's Thursday. I have to get the official itinerary up. But then they have the 2 days of conferences, and it's just, you can go to either one. They're both the same. It's the same thing on both days. It's $75. It's tax deductible. And, you know, when we went, we got a cheap Airbnb and all, like, got a bunch of people to stay together. If you want, let me know. And I know other people on my sidelines on the big team that I'm on that are probably looking for roommates too to lower the costs. So definitely let me know any way I can help you accommodate going. If you are truly unable to go, I understand. I'm never going to like judge you if you can't. But they do a pay-per-view. I'm going to be hosting the pay-per-view viewing at my house. For anybody who can't get to green carpet, you know, you can all come over. We'll have some food. Everyone bring something to eat with you or whatever. We'll have some food. We'll watch the pay-per-view, and then we can go out after if you guys want or whatever. But this way we can still kind of see everything all together and chat. But if you're unable to make it down to Florida, I get it. And everyone is welcome to that. Just give me a heads up if you'll be coming. But yeah, so any questions that I haven't gone over or that you would like me to elaborate on more, anything you guys want to add, say, please don't be shy. I really want to make sure that I do right by you guys, and I'm thorough and answered everything. I know I can ramble.
Can you just go over what we need for the diamond group again so I can write it down?
Okay, yeah. So you want to, oh shit, I forgot in my notes inside. Give me a basic statement about why you want to get to diamond and what it means to you. Oh, and 3 things you want to improve. You want to learn to improve.
Okay. Thank you.
No props. Ashley, you look quite angelic tonight, by the way.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Your lighting is fabulous. What's happening? Look at me.
So,
I'm like disgraziad.
you're not a disgraziad. Super secret. If you put Pandora up on your TV on the Xbox, it has a white filter or like a white background. So I'm like, yes, give me that white light.
It's perfect. Anything that you guys are struggling with or that you notice or hinders you from being successful, anything at all that you guys want to share, you don't have to write it in the chat. If you want, you can unmute yourself and just go for it. I was always that asshole that when someone was like, anyone have questions? No matter how late we were going to be, I was like, me. So, but I know everyone else is like, they don't want to talk out loud, and I get it. I feel like my weakness is blitzing. Okay, so blitzing is good because it puts your business out there. You expand your network. You never know who you're going to meet, but not for nothing. I've never had anything groundbreaking coming from blitzing. You know, like nobody's ever really like said, oh, I remember I had your card last week. Like, and then contacted me. I think it was like maybe 1 or 2 people have contacted me after I blitzed them at a store. And that was because I added them on Facebook. So it's not so much about the card. If the card's bugging you out and you're like, it's cheesy, whatever. The card is kind of just like a convo opener. But if you're in passing talking to somebody, a friend or whatever, and you say, here, add me on Facebook so you can see my portfolio. That's what I say to people. I'm like, I have all my clients' pictures on there. So add me on Facebook so you can see it. You can see more about what I do. And then I will take their phone. Like I'll say, here, give me your phone. I'll add myself. And I will literally grab their phone because I'm not beat for me to add you as a friend and you never accept my request. So I take their phone and I add myself. And that's it. But that I like when it's more of like a convo about it and there's some interest. Uber drivers are the easiest people to blitz. It's crazy. And they actually, like, I've had, like, most of my Uber drivers have become my LCs. It's so funny. I asked them how they enjoy being an Uber driver, if this is their full-time job, if they do anything in addition to driving. They usually get into it about, oh, I just wanted some extra side money. And then I'll be like, so, funny story. Me too. And I had like a boring job and I started doing this online thing. Now it's my full-time thing and I train other people. Can I give you my card? I can definitely show you how you can make even more extra money with, not taking all that much more time. They're always like, yeah, give me your card. So, and then I also, if they're like, not to be like discriminatory, but like if they're young and I feel like they're on social media, I'll be like, let me add myself on Facebook, or what's your Instagram, Blitzing doesn't have to be giving them the card and being like, this is a coupon. Have you ever heard of that crazy rap thing? Like, that doesn't work with people because they're probably like, yes, I have. Get out of here. So if the more natural you are, the better. Just try to find your own way to kind of blitz people. That's always my tip. I just don't know what you already went over, so I don't want to have you repeat yourself. Go for it. See, whatever you're thinking, Emma, if it's something that if it's something I went over already, I'll tell you. So this way, when you get the recording, you can just backtrack. But it may be something that I haven't. So go ahead, give it a shot.
Well, since we're talking about blitzing, I definitely want to ask, what are some of your, I guess, go-tos for blitzing? Like, obviously besides the card and the conversation starters and things like that, but like, what are, I guess you would say, your top 3 things?
Okay. So whenever I'm at a restaurant or a bar and I'm paying my tab, I take out, like, and this is, I don't get the big cards. I order my business cards and I get them. Let's see if I have any around. Yeah. So I get these. They come personalized too. So it's got all my info nice and professional right on there. And when I give someone my business card, it's somebody that I'm talking about recruiting. And especially bartenders and servers, chances are, unless you're to go into like a Roots Chris or something, that's not like their life's choice career, that they're usually doing that as a second job because they, are looking for a job or something, let's face it, it sucks being at the mercy of other people's tipping you. So I don't know many servers who wouldn't be open to more income, and they kind of work odd hours sometimes. So they have the day to go ahead and spend it doing this because they usually work at night and they come across a lot of people. Perfect for this. So what I'll do is when the check comes, I will look at them and I'll say, so this is my business card. You've been great. I'm going to leave this in with the check. And I want you to contact me because I want to train you. I can show you how to make extra money or even replace what you're doing now. Your personality is great. You're already a people person. And I really want to help you. And I'm excited to work with you. And I just put the card in there and that's it. Sometimes if I'm not feeling great and I still want to just put this out in the universe, I will literally write on the check, add me on Facebook. I left my card. You were really great. Ask me for a discount and I'll just stick this. So sticking this in with the check, easiest thing in the world, no matter what you do. When I go to a restaurant also, I try to make sure that like I'll wait for my waiter to be around hovering and I'll take out my Fat Fighters from my purse and I'll put it by my food and take one of my Fat Fighter food pictures or whatever. And sometimes they'll be like, what's that? Perfect opening. Favorite blitz ever? Get a shirt, get something that says something that you're like, what does that mean? Don't get a shirt from It Works that has just like a quote because it could be a quote for anything. Like it's not going to make you ask like, what's that? But if I have a shirt that says like, let's rap about it, like, and it's WRAP, they're going to either make a funny joke about it or like, you're like, oh, you're, drop the beat, So people will have made comments about my shirts before. When I go to the nail salon, I wear my It Works shirt. I love me some nail techs, but they are nosy. A lot of times they'll be like, what's that? And it's perfect because I've signed a couple distributors that way because people around will hear, or let's say one of the other nail techs are like, I have clients I can already sell to. I've even tried to talk to the owner of nail salons and say, you can offer this as a service while they get their nails done. There's just different ways to like try and incorporate this, like figure out the situation you're in and just think of a way to incorporate it and go for it. You sound like a jackass, they're going to still smile and be like, okay, great. And then you leave and you never see them again. Okay. So as long as you're not like going around like, girl, you need a wrap. Don't do that ever. I'm not responsible if you get decked because you go up to someone and you're like, you need a wrap, so you want to be sensitive to people's, body image and stuff like that. You don't want to ever make them feel bad. But employees of places, I laminate my Blitz card, put it on, punch a hole in it. You can laminate at Staples for literally 50 cents. Punch a hole in it. Oh yeah, see? Ash's got it.
I literally grabbed my bag because I was like, I have to show them this. It's my favorite thing. It's literally hanging off of my bag. People stop me and they're like, oh my God, you sell that? I want one. Give me one.
Or I will even wear it around my neck when I go to the mall, because people who work at the mall will be like, oh, what store is that? Thinking that you work there. And then you'd be like, oh no, I'm not working like here. I'm not working here. And then be like, what? And then you could be like, I actually work online. I work on social media. Have you ever heard of these? It's all about just opening up convo and then get them on Facebook so you can continue the conversation later, or they can see your post and start to get to know you. So that's how I blitz. I never really like go out blitzing. I just kind of work it into what I'm doing. Okay, so any other questions?
Your honest opinion, how obtainable is the diamond bonus to like the regular Joe Schmo that you see every day?
So when, I don't know if you've heard my story before, when I started this, I've never been like the popular, pretty skinny girl. Like I've always been the funny girl in high school, but I didn't have like many friends after I graduated. We all went our separate ways. Like, I didn't really stay in touch with many. My Facebook, I had like 300 friends. I was never really on Instagram. I would post like statuses bitching about my ex-boyfriend at the time, or like videos of puppies or like, recipes being made. But I wasn't ever like a big poster interactor on Facebook. And I took this business little by little. When they announced the diamond bonuses last year, when I went to Green Carpet, they actually announced, excuse me, I'm sorry, conference. I couldn't go to conference. I couldn't afford it the first year when they had it. So I was home, I was pissed off. I was like, I wish I was there. And while there, they announced these huge bonuses, but I had to get from barely a ruby, like a struggling ruby, to diamond in 20 days. I needed like 5,000 in volume or something like that. Got to one point where it was 10 days before the deadline and I still needed 3,000 in volume. Like it was, the whole month was like, it's seemingly impossible, but I refused to believe that it wasn't happening. And I put hard ass work in. And in 20 days I promoted to diamond. And then 2 months later I promoted to double diamond. And that's how Nick and I got the like roughly 50K in bonuses. So it's possible. It just depends how hard you work for it. Waking up early, going to sleep later, things like that to make sure it gets done, no matter if you're tired, if you're stressed, if you're sick. That's the God honest truth, that it would take sacrifice to do it fast. Not very many do for that reason, but it is 100% doable if you put your mind to it and refuse to stop until you get there.
With the bonus literally expiring in about what, like a week, what's your best advice to promote it?
Oh, for potential distributors?
Mm-hmm.
So I did mention a lot of really good tips about the recruiting process. So you definitely want to go back and watch that. But in terms of bringing that opportunity to potentials, when you're talking to them, you can say, anybody who you have talked to where conversation has fallen off, you can say to them, like, I don't want to bother you. I just want to let you know that the $10,000 bonus opportunity is expiring at the end of this month. So if you were at all in serious about getting going, I just want to make sure that you can get that. Like you get in for that. That's where voice notes are great. They can hear it in your voice. You're not like, oh my God, on typing, like, doesn't come across the same way. If it's somebody completely new, I just bring it up while I'm talking to them. Like, I'll say, well, when they ask, is there any startup involved? It's my go-to. I never say the word kit. And I say, to get started, I just need your basic info to place your order for your startup materials. And then they'll say, what's that? And I'll say, okay, so included in that, you get 40 to 60% discount. You get 4 wraps to use or sell for $25 each. 2 websites, your business cards, your brochures. You get the fining gel, my training. For a limited time, you get free essential oils. And if you do this before the end of this month, you become eligible for the $10,000 bonus. But if you sign up June 1st, it's gone. Can't get it. So that's what you get as your startup, and that's $99 for everything. So I kind of just work it into the whole thing. But I'm not like $10,000 bonus, $10,000 bonus, because not for nothing. If somebody isn't really in and serious, they're not going to run for that $10,000 bonus. So it doesn't even really matter. It's better that they sign up when they're ready instead of you scaring them off because they sign up and then you tell them, no, actually, this is how hard it is to get to Diamond in 3 months. It's like more deceitful. So bringing it up casually, and if they're not feeling it, don't push it, is like my number one tip, because however a hard time people give you about signing up is how much of a hard time they're going to have working usually. So anything else before I hop off of here and go check out Miss Buckley? It's her PDT event. That's on YouTube, right? I think I saw that. I don't know how it works. I'll figure it out. It's like a live feed on YouTube.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. I just wanted to check. I know you mentioned that you were going to do the green carpet thing because it's not possible for me to get down there either. Do you know if it would be one of the first days and not a weekend? Just because I'd really like to go to your house.
I think I'm going to do that Saturday. So the second day is Saturday. It's Friday and Saturday. The 22nd, 23rd, 23rd, 24th, something like that. So I'm going to do the Saturday so that more people can get up here easier.
Okay, I might have to drag my husband because it's our first anniversary. That's
Oh my God, aw. If it's like, it's your first anniversary, go spend time with husband. If you want to come up and watch it with me on Friday, we can do that if that would work out better.
That would be awesome. Yeah, if we could do that, that'd be great.
Yeah. So I'll do Friday and Saturday. Anybody who can't make it to the Saturday one, you can just come up for the Friday.
Michelle, how soon do you want us to tell you? How soon do you want us to tell you that we can make it or not to see the?
Just like the week prior, I guess.
And what dates are they? I forget.
I have to double check. It's either the 22nd, 23rd, or the 23rd, 24th. One of those two. I think it's that's Friday and Saturday. Whatever date that is. Awesome. I'm glad that I could help you guys. If you got in late or if you have any questions, throw them at me real quick while I'm doing this little wind down. But if you haven't watched this, go back and watch it and let me know any questions you have. I asked that everybody lets me know about that Diamond Challenge group within the next 2 days. So that, because tomorrow I'm going to get some of the info written up and put on there. And then I want to just jump ahead and keep going. And I'm not going to add people to the date because it gets crazy if everybody's coming in last minute and, it's confusing. So by, what's today? Tuesday? If you guys can let me know by Thursday morning, if you want to be in the Diamond Challenge group, I'm going to get started probably Thursday night on that. So,
what were the 3 questions?
I'll post them into Amato.
Okay, yeah, awesome.
And
if you guys think of any questions after this ends, feel free to post in the team page or message me. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Green
this
carpet.
YouTube event. Awesome. I'm just going to literally click that right meow. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. I will have this recording up by the end of the night. Love you guys.
And they were super surprised to hear that, and we're super excited